welcome back home. If you guys want to see how I got this look today, then keep on watching.
So this is me in my natural habitat, tired, gross. Anyways, well, first I'll be starting with this Too Faced Shadow Insurance Primer. I think that this is really good. I do it every time I do my eyeshadow. I put it on, and then right after I grab my Mercier translucent powder, and I'll just dust that over my eyes just to kind of set it so I can lay my base shade down. And in this one I won't be putting like an actual light colored base shade. I'll be going straight in above the crease with an orange shade in my BH Cosmetics Modern Neutrals 28 color eyeshadow palette. Why I had to say all that? I don't know, but I did, so you're welcome. Anyway, so I'll be dusting that over my crease, and these colors are blendable. I mean, I'm a little iffy. Sometimes I really like the way that they perform given on what day how I'm feeling that day, and sometimes I just don't want to have to blend it up so much, but I digress. Next, I'll be taking on an angled brush the color right next to it. It's like a deeper orange, like slightly reddish, and I'll just be going into my crease with that. I know that you probably can't really see like much of a difference, but it's just something like a personal preference that I like to do. So I'll just be running that in my crease and in my outer V, trying to add some more color that's not just a light orange. You feel me? Yeah, you feel me. Anyway, so the majority of this section is just me going back over it, making sure that it's blended out well, and if there's like a little patch that's not, just blend it out and it'll be fine. And if you ever feel like your look isn't coming together, maybe just try blending more and see how it comes out after. So next I'll be going back in with that fluffier brush, and I'll be going in with that very first orange shade that I used, and I'll just go right back over above my crease just to kind of blend them together. And I just wanted to make sure that I had both of them looking the same shade of orange, so that one wasn't lighter than the other, one wasn't darker, whatever. And right here I'm just taking a clean eyeshadow, clean fluffy brush, and I'm just going back in and blending both of those shades together to make sure that there's no like harsh lines, or the color isn't too offset. And it always helps to have extra fluffy brushes, blending brushes, just to go back in and make sure that your colors mold together and look nice. Right here I'll be taking my Urban Decay Naked Skin concealer in the color Light, and it's warm, and I'll just be doing that to add on to my eyelid so that I could add a different shimmery shade on top. For some reason I had some of that eyeshadow primer on my nose. Tell me why. Only me, huh? So right now I'm just going in all over my lid. I'll go all the way out to cover my outer lid as well, the outer portion of my lid. Next I'll be taking this like pinky, like shimmery pinky shade from my Club Tropicana palette by BH Cosmetics. This shade is so pretty. And what's funny is originally I wasn't even going to go in with my finger, but I was like, oh crap, I already dipped my finger in there, so I might as well just go with it. So then I just switched to a brush and put some MAC Fix Plus just to kind of wet it a little bit, and I patted it back on. So that's just pretty much what I did with both eyes, and I kind of tried to go like, holy crap, I might have gone all the way through with it. What I was aiming to do was just to go like halfway on the eye with the pinky shade, and then I was going to add a different color to the outer portion. Wow. Well, at least this is a journey, and I'm actually gonna hopefully learn some things along the way and learn the do's and don'ts of makeup. And of course, there's no actual like do's and don'ts, don't do this, you have to do this. It's not like that. It's fun, it's creative, and I mean, do as you please. But I just want to be able to learn to make something that's beautiful and crazy and just so out of the ordinary. So next I'll be taking that shimmery orangey shade, and I'll be trying to pat that onto the outer corner of my eyelid. and kind of overlapping in the center a little bit with that pinky shade. I know that on camera you probably can't see much of a difference, and I get that, you know, it's not going to look the same, especially with my lighting and my quality. But I mean, you just kind of have to trust my word on it, dude. So then next I'm going to go in with that pinky shade, and I'm going to go back over the inner corner. And I kind of like to do this a lot, just go back in to the inner corner with whatever shade I had, and then back to the outer corner, back to the inner corner, then back to the outer corner. It's just a whole process. Next, I'm going to go back in with that kind of reddish orangish shade that I went in with my crease in my outer V, just to kind of blend it in with the shimmery shades. And I'm going to make sure that I still have that color left in my crease. Next, I'll be taking that fluffy brush that had the very first orange shade, and I'll be going back over my upper crease and just making sure that I have that orange color again and that it's blended in with the red. I mean, it's a process, man. And then I'll be going back in with that clean blending brush and just blending it all together. Yeah, if you guys find me like humming anywhere throughout this voiceover, I mean, I don't know what else to say, and I'm an awkward potato. So just pardon me. Just kind of like ignore me while I sit in the corner. Now I'm just trying to find like my tools and stuff. And the first product that I'm going to use for my base makeup will be the Makeup Forever Step 1 Skin Equalizer Primer. I usually just like to put this on my nose because I find that it blurs my nose pores pretty well. And then, you know, whatever is left, I'll take it up to my forehead. You know, I'll put some on my little mustache. I'll put some on the sides of my nose and blend it out towards my cheeks. And then I'll put like a little bit on my chin. Just areas that I find that I don't really like the way that my pores look. So next, I'll be taking my Too Faced Born This Way foundation in the shade Warm Nude. And I don't know why, but I can never get my camera to focus on the products that I use. So I mean, pardon that if I just look weird trying to get it to focus. And I'll just be taking a beauty blender and just adding it on. And when you look a little crazy, I mean, that's fine. Like I said, if you ever come out looking crazy, just blend for your life. Blend for your life. And it'll all, you know, work out. Hopefully. I really do like this foundation because I feel that it does cover up my blemishes pretty well. I should add a bit more concealer on my blemishes, you know, where it does kind of peek out a little bit. And I do have, you know, kind of dryish skin, so it does peek out for me. I do kind of collect dry patches around it, especially throughout the day if I'm wearing it for a long time. But I mean, I'm in the process of trying to find a new moisturizer and a new technique that'll help my skin stay hydrated and feel hydrated. But I mean, overall, I really love this foundation. It's good to me. So I'll be taking that all over the face, and I also like to blend it up to my ears because sometimes you have a little bit of redness up to your ears. So I mean, just kind of to blend your ears in with the rest of your face. I used to take my foundations down the neck because I was like, oh, you have to. But I mean, I find that this foundation kind of matches my neck pretty well, so I don't really see a point in trying to add it all the way down. So I just kind of add it on my jawline, you know, under my chin, under my jawline, you know, stuff like that. I make sure to get that little groove in between the eyebrow and the curve of my nose. Not onto the eyeshadow, of course, but, you know, you get me, you get me. Make sure that you try to blend it up as much as you can to the hairline. And then I just like to spend a little bit more extra time blending, just making sure that I'm pushing it into the skin so that it doesn't get powdery or look cakey, you know. I'm blending for my life right now. I hope you guys know that. Also, before this look, I did use, it's an Aveeno moisturizer. I think that it works really well. You know, it's one of my favorites. I use it every single day. Also, before I put on some of the Glam Glow Pout Mud, and so that really helps my lips to stay hydrated and feel nice. So for concealer, I'll be taking the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in 02 Creamy Natural, and I'll just putting that on. I'll just be putting that on the points that I want to highlight on my face. And I am on the lookout for a good concealer. I do have the Urban Decay Naked Skin, but I feel like that adds too much texture wherever I put it. And this one, I do like it. You know, I do feel like personally for me, it brightens up where I put it as much as, you know, I would like for it to. But I also feel like it doesn't completely conceal my dark circles. Like whenever I look, I feel that I could still see them peeking through a little bit. So I mean, I'm always going to be on the lookout for a good concealer. But right now, this has been working pretty well. So I'll just make sure that I blend that all the way and that it blends into my foundation so that it's not just a harsh, like, bright, you know, color under my eyes and on my chin, my nose, my cupid's bow, whatever. And then next, I'll just be setting all the places that I put concealer, and I will just use my Laura Mercier translucent setting powder on my beauty blender, and I'll just take that in, and you know, I won't grab a crazy amount, but I'll grab enough to pat it in and just make sure that it's like patted into the skin. I don't usually like to bake because I feel that it dries my makeup and it makes it look more powdery, of course. But I mean, I've tried different baking techniques and I just find that, you know, personally for me, it just doesn't work out. I don't know, if it works out for you, then I mean, lucky you, huh? You get to be like every other beauty influencer on YouTube. No, I'm just kidding though. So right here, I'll just be taking a little bit extra more just so I could go further down where I had added concealer. Next, I'll be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Contour Kit. It's the powder from light to medium. Wow, way to go, Tanya. I didn't even look at which shade I just dipped into. It'll come around again, no worries. Or not. Oh man, this is great. I love this. Yeah, there was a weird ad like playing on my TV because I like to listen to music whenever I apply my makeup. So sometimes I'll just like look off to the side and, you know, that's just me checking out a weird ad or wondering why my music stopped playing. I'll usually go in with the darker shade on the left side just to kind of darken up my forehead and just to kind of darken up a little bit of the rest of my contour. If I'm correct, which I'll probably put it in the description bar if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure I used the shade that's all the way to the right whenever I firstly started my contour. And I do like to go on my under my cheekbones just because I feel like I want my face to be a little bit slimmer. And I also put it under my jawline to give a little bit of definition. And I also added that middle shade. And I'll be adding a little bit of the darker shade. Oh no, I won't. Well, fail. I'll add the middle shade under my lip because I heard that that makes your lower lip look a little bit bigger, a little bit more poutier. And so I'll be taking the shade all the way on the right and I'll be trying to contour my nose. I'm not an expert on contouring my nose, but I mean, I try my best. I would really like to learn how because personally for me, I feel that my nose is a bit too big on the end. So I mean, that's really something that I would just like to fix makeup wise. And then I'll be taking a spare brush and just blending in all my contour, you know, making sure that it looks right and that it's not too harsh. And I'll be taking it, you know, down my nose and under my lip, you know, of course my jawline, my forehead, my cheeks. And I'll be taking it in that curve between my eyebrow and the curve of my nose because I want to make sure that that's blended out, and I wanted a contour right there to give it that shadow that makes that part look more structured. And I'll just be going in a tiny bit more because with my lighting, I feel that it doesn't show up very much because I had my open window at that time. You know, I have sunlight and I don't have any other light on the other side of me near my dresser, so I don't think it's that bad, but I mean, I think it'll be good to start this YouTube channel, and especially if I get along with, you know, my subscribers and they could give me tips and tricks and, you know, other fellow influencers. Right now I'll be taking the Milani Baked Bronzer in number 5 Soleil, and this does have a bit of shimmer, and sometimes, you know, I apply it, but I try not to add too much because it is a bit darker than what I'm used to. But I mean, overall, I still really like it. I still think it looks really nice. And then I'll be putting that over the places that I contoured, just to kind of darken it up a little bit. For some reason, the contour kit that I use by Anastasia Beverly Hills, I feel that it doesn't entirely stay throughout the day. I feel that I find it like fading away. So that's just kind of why I add a little bit of bronzer over it, and also just to look as if, you know, I've been out in the sun and I'm not too pale. Thank you, foundation and concealer. Next, I'll be taking the Milani Baked Blush in number 5 Luminoso. This one has got to be one of my favorites because I could just add the tiniest bit. Although sometimes I do go overboard because, like I said, with lighting, you know, I feel like I have to add more. And sometimes I just get carried away because I think that the color is just so freaking pretty. Oh my god. Yeah, but pretty much I'll take that, of course, farther back on my cheekbones, and I will kind of go on my temples with it, and also across my forehead, you know, a tiny bit under the eyes, you know, on my chin and under my contour, over my mustache, a little bit down my nose, just because I feel like I'm just a little bit too bright, and you can't really see a difference, I know that, but, you know, everything is personal preference. Right now, to highlight, I'll be using the Profusion Strobe and Glow palette, and I'll be using the shade Heartfelt, that middle shade. I think that that's such a pretty, like, kind of golden shade. I don't know, I really like the way that it looks. And, you know, maybe whenever I get better quality and, you know, better lighting, it'll show up better so that you guys could actually see, like, how good it looks. And then I'll just get, like, a little pencil brush and I'll take it down my nose. I won't put it at the tip just because I find that it makes my nose look a little bit bigger, which is what I was, you know, trying to stray away from. I'll put it over my forehead and on my chin, and of course over my Cupid's bow, just to kind of, you know, bring those features out a little bit more, just like adding it above my cheekbones. And I like to go into 2 different brushes with it. Why? I don't know. So next I'll just be taking just a clean fluffy brush, powder brush, and I'll just go over and, you know, make sure that everything's blended out, you know, everything's just kind of molded together, there's no harsh lines. Although I probably could blend a little bit more whenever I do my makeup. I like those few strands of hair that are just like hanging out. I'm glad that that adds characteristic to me. Right now I'll be using my it's a Bonita brow pencil. It's a super slim brow stick, and I have it in the shade Midnight. My eyebrows, I mean, personally, to me, I don't think they look black. I don't, but I mean, a lot of people say they do. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just because my hair is brown, so I feel like, oh, they're not black. You know, whatever. But it's not like a deep, deep black. So I'm still trying to learn how to, you know, fill in and define my eyebrows, but, you know, I tried really hard right now. So first I like to go in with the spoolie and just like brush it through, and then I like to fill in at the ends and kind of like draw a line under the beginning part of my eyebrow, just because I feel like it's pretty bare with the rest of my makeup. Oh man, I'm such an epic fail. So I'll just be kind of like going in above the arch and everything. And after that mess up, you know, I'm glad that I could just like kind of rub it away and it won't, you know, just stay with the shadow of a straight line where I messed up. And then I'll just brush right back through it, especially if I feel like they're too thick. Or too dark, I'll just kind of like pat through it with my finger and like rub through it. And then I'll be taking a brow gel by Ellen Tracy. It's just a clear brow gel, just to make sure that, you know, my brows don't run away or whatever, just waver in the wind. Brows are wild, you know, they might do that. My other eyebrow though, I don't know what's the deal. I noticed that it's thinner than the other one. So I mean, come on eyebrows, step it up. And then I'll just be curling my eyelashes, and then I'll be using the Benefit They're Real lashes. Mascara, I mean. Funny story with this, I forgot how hard the bristles were because it's a firm wand. You know, the bristles are kind of, you know, pretty firm. And so I was trying to get deeper to my roots, and I just completely scratched my eye. And that's where I'm like looking down. I'm just done. And I was just trying so hard not to let my eyes water. And I completely forgot to curl my other eyelashes. Because usually I'll curl them both at the same time, and then I'll put mascara, you know, one eye after the other. For some reason, I just thought, oh, I'll curl, put mascara, curl, and put mascara. Well, since I don't do it that way normally, I mean, yeah. Way to go, Tanya. You're great. Oh, man. So I'll just be going through and trying to make sure that I get all the way to the roots of my lashes. And this mascara, I like it, but I just find for me it's really wet. So I mean, I don't know. It's not bad though. You know, it darkens up my lashes. I feel like it gives some good like length to them. Next, I'll be taking this lip liner by a brand called Santee, and I'll be taking it in number 3 burgundy, and I'll just be like lining my lips and also adding color on the outers of my lips. Just because I also heard this, that if you do that, then you know you leave the middle space open, then that makes your lips look a little bit bigger with your whatever lipstick you use, as long as it's not too dark. Which, I mean, the one that I used is kind of like the same color. It's kind of dark, which I don't even think I meant to use that lipstick. I mean, it's my go-to lipstick, so I just thought, oh, you know, why not grab this? But I mean, it's a really nice lipstick. It's an Urban Decay lipstick, and it's in the shade Trip. It's a comfort matte. You know, it's really pretty. It's like a orange. It's kind of like the second eyeshadow that I used. It's like an orangish reddish, you know, mostly red. You know, I'll just kind of be, I don't know why I like to pack on my lipsticks. Just, I don't know why. I'm kind of weird. Next, I'll be taking a tissue and I'll just, you know, bite on it. Not really, but I'll just press my lips to it just because I feel like it's a little bit too dark. And then next, I'll be taking these Cara Beauty lashes in number 38 black, and I'll be right back. So this is the finished look. You know, I hope that you guys liked it, and you know, if you did, then please click subscribe and like, you know, whatever. Love you guys. Bye.